There's a rule so simple it fits on a sticky note. So straightforward that a teenager could understand it. So universally proven across cultures, income levels, and centuries of financial history that it has appeared in some form in nearly every serious book ever written about money. The rule is this: keep 10% of everything you earn. That's it. Before the bills. Before the groceries. Before the subscriptions, the nights out, the impulse buys, and the lifestyle upgrades. Before anything else gets a claim on your income, 10% goes to you. Not to your landlord. Not to your bank. Not to a brand. To you. It sounds almost insultingly simple. And yet, the vast majority of people, including many who earn good money, hold impressive titles, and consider themselves financially responsible, never actually do it. Not consistently. Not as a non-negotiable. Not as the foundation it was always meant to be. This is the 10% wealth floor. And understanding why most people never build it might be the most important financial insight you ever encounter. What the wealth floor actually is. The term, wealth floor, is deliberate. A floor is not a ceiling, it's not the maximum you aspire to save. It's the minimum below which you refuse to fall. It's the baseline that protects you from the slow financial erosion that quietly destroys most people's futures. When you establish a 10% wealth floor, you're making a declaration. No matter what life costs this month, no matter what opportunities tempt you, no matter what pressures land on your plate, at least 10% of what came in stays. It gets moved, invested, or set aside before the rest of your financial life begins. Over time, this floor does something remarkable. It compounds. A modest income with a consistent 10% savings rate, invested sensibly over 20 to 30 years, produces outcomes that seem almost impossible to someone who has never run the numbers. The math of compounding rewards consistency with a ferocity that rewards neither talent nor luck, only discipline maintained over time. The 10% floor isn't a wealth strategy. It's the foundation upon which every wealth strategy is built. Why most people never build it? If the rule is this simple, why do so few people follow it? The answer isn't laziness. It isn't ignorance. The vast majority of people who fail to maintain a 10% wealth floor are not uninformed. They're structurally set up to fail by the way they think about money and the order in which they spend it. The fundamental error is sequence. Most people earn, spend, and then attempt to save whatever is left over. The problem is that in a consumer economy engineered to extract maximum spending from every paycheck, there is almost never anything left over. Expenses expand to fill income like water filling a container. Lifestyle creep is not a character flaw, it's a predictable response to rising earnings in the absence of a predetermined savings commitment. The people who successfully maintain a wealth floor don't save what's left. They save first and live on what remains. That single inversion, paying yourself before paying everything else, is the entire mechanism. But it requires a shift in identity, not just behavior. It requires deciding, at a foundational level, that you are a person who builds wealth. Not someday. Now. The psychological traps that keep people stuck beyond the structural issue of spending sequence. There are several deeply embedded psychological patterns that prevent people from committing to their wealth floor. I'll start when I earn more. This is perhaps the most seductive lie in personal finance. The assumption is that saving will become easier at higher income levels. But studies consistently show that savings rates do not automatically improve with income, they improve with intention. People who earn $50,000 and save nothing will, in most cases, earn $100,000 and save nothing. The habit must be built at the income level you have now, not the one you're hoping for. I have too many expenses right now. This framing positions saving as a luxury, something you do after obligations are met. But this inverts the entire philosophy of wealth building. The 10% is not a luxury expense. It is your most important obligation. Everything else gets paid with the 90% that remains. 10% won't make a difference. This objection underestimates compounding and overestimates the importance of large gestures. Wealth is not typically built through windfalls, it's built through the accumulation of disciplined, unremarkable, consistent actions taken over a long enough period of time that the results become remarkable. 10%, invested monthly at a reasonable rate of return over 2 or 3 decades, produces life-changing outcomes. The math is not subtle. The floor changes everything. Something shifts when you maintain a wealth floor consistently for 6 months, a year, 2 years. The account balance stops feeling like a number and starts feeling like security. Like options. Like power. You negotiate differently when you have savings behind you. You take calculated risks you'd never take from a position of financial fragility. You weather setbacks, job losses, health crises, market downturns, without catastrophe, because the floor held even when everything else shook. The 10% wealth floor doesn't just build money. It builds the version of you that makes better financial decisions, takes smarter risks, and stops operating from a place of scarcity. That psychological shift, compounded alongside the financial one, is what the people who never build their floor never get to experience. Your wealth floor starts today, not next month. Not after the next raise. Not once the car is paid off or the holiday is done or the kids are through school. Today. With whatever lands in your account next. Take 10%. Move it before you spend a cent of the rest. Put it somewhere it can grow and somewhere you won't casually rate it. Then do it again next month. And the month after that. The wealthy are not people who found a secret investment. They're not people who got lucky or started rich. Many of them are simply people who built the floor early, protected it fiercely, and let time and compounding do what they always do when given the chance. The floor is the secret. And now you know it. Ready to build yours? If this concept landed for you, if something in this video made you look at your finances differently, don't let that clarity fade without taking action. Subscribe to our channel for weekly videos that break down the real mechanics of wealth building, the habits, the assets, the mindset shifts, and the strategies that separate people who talk about financial freedom from people who actually achieve it. And right now, before this video ends, decide on your 10%. Calculate what it is from your last paycheck. Open a new account if you need to. Set up the automatic transfer tonight. One decision. Repeated consistently. That's the whole game. Like this video if it added value. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And drop a comment below, are you already paying yourself first, or is today the day you start? See you in the next one.